Hello, everybody. Welcome again to Keystone Film Review. We just watched MaXXXine. Written and directed by Ty West. I think Mia Goth may have written it as well. It's not an IMDb, though.
She's a producer.
She's a producer. So is Kid Cudi. Starring Mia Goth, Elizabeth Debicki, Giancarlo Esposito, Moses Sumney, Halsey, Kevin Bacon,
Michelle
Monaghan, Bobby Cannavale, Sophie Thatcher, and
Kevin Bacon.
I already said Kevin Bacon.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah. This, of course, is the third in the trilogy, possibly the first trilogy we've done a complete review for.
We can't think of off the top of our heads.
Yes, and we're not going to go through our hundreds of videos to find out.
And I feel like Marvel doesn't count.
No, Marvel does not count. Marvel is a TV show, a glorified TV show. But yes, this, of course, is the third installment of the X franchise. X going to give it to you. This one goes back to the MaXXXine character played by Mia Goth in the first one. Now in L.A., people being murdered. She's trying to get out of porn and get into
She's trying to be
movies.
a damn star.
She's trying to be a fucking movie star. And yeah, I mean, I was pretty excited for this one. I feel like with how closely together they released X and Pearl, it was easier to keep the excitement up for Pearl than it was for MaXXXine. Because, you know, I was still riding the high of X when Pearl came around.
Yeah.
And, because I think it was like 8 months difference in release.
It was like roughly almost a year.
And this is like
Not
2
quite.
years? A year and a half, something like that. So yeah, I kind of had lost my
I feel like
excitement
COVID
for it.
messed that up a little bit, you bastard.
Well, no,
but somehow it didn't.
They filmed the first two during COVID, I believe, in New Zealand. I could be wrong. But then this one they filmed separately. They filmed the first two in New Zealand, and then they filmed this one
Somewhere.
in LA probably, because it seems like it is. The thing I like most about this one is all the homages. Oh,
Yeah, some bright ass. Oh, it's the
Yeah,
lamppost.
this-
I was like, damn.
all the homages to classic films, down to the subtle reference. I'm assuming it's a reference of Kevin Bacon looking like Jack Nicholson in Chinatown.
Yeah.
So they're not like so in your face that it is distracting. It's just kind of like, oh, look at that. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a decent movie. My initial reaction, I'll let you talk after this. I apologize, I'm
fine.
ranting.
No,
My
you're good.
initial thought and reaction is that this is my least favorite of the three. But I need to sit on it some more to really decide if that's true.
I think a huge impact on that is because it expanded away from just like just a farm.
Yeah.
So like it's not as isolated. So everything's much more broad as far as the locations they can go and what she can do and stuff like that. Like she can't just run away to the backyard. She is the backyard of Hollywood right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I could see that. I have to rewatch the first two because I don't really know. I'm pretty sure X is still my favorite out of them all.
Yeah, I have to rewatch them as well, but
yeah, this one.
her performance in Pearl is like otherworldly.
Oh my god, yeah.
So, you know, that's why I initially feel like Pearl's my favorite, but I need to rewatch them all.
Yeah, this movie was good, but there was like there was some type of X factor that was missing. A little bit of X factor there was just something there that we knew she wanted to be a star, and we knew what she was going to do to get there because she's already done so much.
Yeah.
So it kind of felt like we knew where the story was going in a way, even with a different type of plot and different scenario and different location. So to me, that felt like it was kind of predictable in that way on what was going to happen, even though everything about it
I think
we didn't know was going to happen.
Yeah, I think the creep factor was missing because in X you have the old couple where even before you know that they are killers, it's just creepy. They're kind of creepy. There's something about them that's off. In Pearl, she's just creepy.
Yeah.
I think in the first 10 minutes she's making out with a scarecrow or fucking dry humping as a scarecrow. So, like, that's creepy. And, of course, Pearl is the old woman in X. And in this, it was just like...
This, like, it was like a mysterious figure that was being creepy, but it wasn't creepy enough.
It was cartoonish.
Yeah. It was like this squeaky leather.
Yeah, it felt like a
gloves
villain
and
in like
jacket.
Inspector Gadget or something. You know, I don't hate it. It just was missing that creep factor. This felt more like an, it's. I mean, I guess it's appropriate. It felt more like an '80s revenge movie in a way than it did an actual horror movie. That could have been what they were going for. If so, right on. But it just, you know, I was really hoping there would be more creepiness to it. Of course, the Night Stalker is heavily featured in the trailers. I was worried that they were going to lean into that too much, which I thought was in bad taste, because victims of the Night Stalker and families of victims of the Night Stalker are still alive. It's very recent, so I thought that was in bad taste.
Chasing him right
But
now?
it's a little separated from the Night Stalker. I don't want to get into it too much without, you know, giving spoilers, but it still kind of felt like you didn't need to make it the real Night Stalker. So, you know, it didn't bother me as much as I initially thought it was going to.
Could have been even like after the events of the Night Stalker.
Yeah,
And
they could have just been like, oh, it's a copycat killer.
Yeah.
But it happened. This movie takes place before the Night Stalker is caught. So it's just like, oh, it's more Night Stalker murders and stuff. So it just kind of felt a little sleazy. I mean, maybe that was the point. You know, it's kind of paying homages to slasher films and all that. But yeah, overall, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it about as much as I thought it would, but didn't have, like you said, the X factor.
It didn't have that X factor.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot. I thought the thing I liked most about it, which is more than Mia Goth and, you know, some of the plot and such. I liked so much that the actors in this weren't typecasted to a lot of the roles they had been. Kevin Bacon was great. Giancarlo Esposito was totally different. Wasn't just like a corporate bigwig.
He did have a big wig, though.
He did have a big wig, but they played different characters of characters.
Yeah.
And I liked that so much because it broadened their horizons than what they were fucking stuck with lately, especially Giancarlo, because he has been stuck with the Breaking Bad role ever since Breaking Bad, basically. No matter what he's really in.
Unfortunately, though, Elizabeth Debicki is still typecast as a really tall woman.
That one is tall. That one is a tall order.
But I mean, she is a tall woman, so I guess. Sorry, that was a horrible joke. She's also just kind of gave off the same air that she does in her other movies. It's not so much necessarily the character. Her character specifically in this was not given that much. She's just kind of like one note the whole time. It's not her fault. That's the character, the writing's
She's
fault.
like, hey, I'm really tall and don't fuck my shit up. And that's pretty much how she did it.
Her and Tenet, but she's in an abusive relationship.
I love
her and the man called Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Great Gatsby.
Her in Guardians of the Galaxy, but she's gold.
She's very gold.
Yeah.
And tall.
I'm going to stop that bit there. That's done. But yeah, I mean, I don't have too much else to say. It's a fine movie. I really think they lost momentum because they shot X and Pearl back to back. And this was obviously separated. It felt separated from the other two.
Graphic as the other two as well.
Yes.
Especially in the beginning.
Yeah, I mean...
Feel bad for your little guys. Just, that's all I'll say.
Oh, yeah. Men.
Wear
cups to go see this. Just, you'll know why. But yeah, ratings? Should we just get the ratings?
Yes. I am stuck between a 3 and a 3.5. I gave Pearl a 3.5. I don't know if I like this as much as I like Pearl, but I still like this a lot. So I guess I would necessarily say that maybe I'll put them the same. Maybe I'll put them both at 3.5. They were great in different ways.
Let me see what I gave them. X couldn't give it to you. I gave X
a 4 as well.
And Pearl also a 4. So yeah, I think it is very fair for me to give this a 3.5. It's definitely, at least initial thoughts, my least favorite of the three. I was finding myself really into it, and then something was revealed, and I was less into it. just because they build it up to be this whole thing. You'll have to see it to know. But it's still a good movie. It's very fun and stylized. If you're a fan of old movies, you're going to see a lot of little Easter eggs in there. And you'll even recognize some sets from other movies, like they passed the saloon from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
The little town center.
Town Square.
And of course Psycho, that's in the trailer. So yeah, it's just a fun thing to be like, oh yeah. But as far as like being a mind-blowing movie, it was not.
There is one little like thing that I'm mostly going to tell Mike. I don't want to tell it in this review, but they kind of just dropped off on something that they were like had in the background the whole time. I'll tell Mike about it. I'm not going to fucking tell you shit. My lips are sealed, you little bastard.
Yes.
So maybe you'll just have to see it to know what the hell I might be alluding to.
I have no idea what he's alluding to, and I just saw it.
He'll know in 2 minutes.
Yes, but anyway, so that is what we thought of MaXXXine. If you saw MaXXXine, tell us what you thought down in the comments below. Which of the three was your favorite, and why? So yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
And thank you everyone for watching, and we will see you when we watch another movie and talk about it.
What is Mia Goth going to do next, now that this is over? That's crazy.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.